For a US audience, the most important thing to understand about the Is the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara is what its electric powertrain represents. This SUV is a clear signal that Maruti Suzuki is moving seriously into full electrification, and that matters in a market where EV adoption is accelerating every year. An all-electric setup means zero tailpipe emissions, instant torque, and a noticeably smoother driving experience compared to traditional gasoline SUVs. From stop-and-go city traffic to highway merging, electric motors deliver power immediately, which translates into confident acceleration without engine noise or gear shifts. For daily use driving, this kind of powertrain is especially appealing. Commutes are quieter, fuel costs are replaced by significantly lower charging costs, and maintenance is reduced because there are fewer moving parts than in internal combustion engines. There's no oil change, fewer fluids, and less mechanical wear over time. That alone can make ownership more predictable and budget-friendly in the long run. However, American buyers will also be cautious. This is a newer electric platform from a brand not yet established in the US EV space, so questions around real-world efficiency, battery longevity, and long-term performance will matter. Once real driving data and reliability records emerge, this electric powertrain could become one of the e-Vitara's strongest selling points. For a US audience, the design and road presence of the Is the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara will play a huge role in how it's perceived. American buyers often expect SUVs to look confident, modern, and purposeful, and the e-Vitara is clearly being shaped with that mindset in mind. Its styling is expected to lean toward a clean, futuristic EV look, with sharp LED lighting, smooth aerodynamic surfaces, and a more sculpted body compared to older, boxier designs. This gives it a contemporary feel that aligns well with what US buyers already see from popular electric SUVs. In terms of size, the e-Vitara is likely to sit in a compact to mid-size sweet spot, which is ideal for American urban and suburban lifestyles. It should feel large enough to offer a strong presence on the road, yet compact enough to be easy to park, maneuver, and live with on a daily basis. A higher seating position and SUV stance are especially important in the US, where drivers value visibility and a sense of control behind the wheel. That said, some buyers who associate the Vitara name with ruggedness may find the EV-focused styling more urban than off-road oriented. Still, for US consumers prioritizing modern looks and everyday practicality, the e-Vitara's design direction could be a strong advantage. For a US audience, the interior experience of the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara could be one of its most important selling points. American buyers place a high value on in-cabin technology, comfort, and a sense of modernity, especially in electric vehicles. The e-Vitara is expected to feature a fully digital cabin, including a large touchscreen infotainment system, digital driver display, and EV-specific information such as range, charging status, and energy usage. This kind of layout aligns well with what US consumers already expect from newer electric SUVs. Another advantage of an electric platform is interior space. With no traditional transmission tunnel, the floor can be flatter, improving legroom and overall comfort for both front and rear passengers. This matters for families, road trips, and everyday commuting. Features like wireless smartphone integration, connected car technology, voice commands, and over-the-air updates could make the e-Vitara feel competitive in a tech-focused market like the US. However, expectations are high. American buyers will compare it directly with rivals offering premium touches such as advanced driver assistance systems, high-quality materials, large panoramic displays, and upscale sound systems. If certain features are limited to higher trims, lower versions may feel less competitive. Ultimately, the e-Vitara's success in the US mindset will depend on how well it balances technology, comfort, and value inside the cabin. For a US audience, range and charging practicality will strongly influence how the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara is judged. In the United States, drivers often cover longer daily distances and rely heavily on highways, so usable real-world range matters more than headline numbers. If the e-Vitara delivers a balanced range suitable for commuting, errands, and weekend travel, it could appeal to first-time EV buyers looking for an easy transition from gasoline vehicles. Home charging will likely be one of its biggest strengths. Most American EV owners charge overnight, and a compact electric SUV that can comfortably recharge at home fits well into suburban lifestyles. Lower cost per mile compared to gas-powered SUVs is another major benefit, especially with fluctuating fuel prices. For city and suburban use, this kind of EV setup can feel extremely convenient and economical. That said, US buyers will be cautious about long-distance usability. Fast charging capability is critical for road trips, and charging speed can make or break the experience. If DC fast charging is slower than competitors, longer highway journeys could feel less practical. Charging infrastructure varies widely across states, so consistent access isn't guaranteed everywhere. The e-Vitara's real success will depend on how confidently it handles everyday range needs without adding stress to longer drives. For a US audience, pricing and long-term ownership costs will be a major deciding factor for the Maruti Suzuki e-Vitara. American buyers are increasingly open to electric vehicles, but value still matters. If the e-Vitara enters the market with a competitive price, it could attract cost-conscious consumers who want an electric SUV without stepping into premium territory. Lower day-to-day expenses are one of the biggest advantages of EV ownership, and this model is expected to benefit from reduced maintenance, fewer mechanical parts, and lower servicing requirements compared to gas-powered SUVs. Electric vehicles eliminate routine costs like oil changes and many engine-related repairs, which can make ownership more predictable over time. Charging at home is also significantly cheaper than refueling with gasoline in most parts of the US, helping owners save money year after year. For families and commuters, this can make a meaningful difference in total cost of ownership. However, US buyers will also think long-term. Battery warranty coverage, replacement costs, and resale value are all critical concerns, especially for a newer electric platform. Upfront pricing may still feel high compared to traditional compact SUVs, even with lower running costs. Clear warranty support and transparent ownership programs will be essential to build trust and confidence among American consumers. For a US audience, market positioning and competition will ultimately define how the Maruti Suzuki Vitara is perceived. By 2026, the American electric SUV space will be crowded with both established brands and new players, many offering long-range figures, fast charging, and premium technology. Entering this environment means the e-Vitara must clearly communicate what makes it different and why buyers should consider it alongside more familiar EV names. One potential strength is approachability. If positioned as a practical, no-nonsense electric SUV focused on reliability and everyday usability, it could appeal to buyers who feel overwhelmed by overly complex or expensive EVs. Many US consumers are looking for a straightforward electric vehicle that simply works for daily life without excessive features driving up the price. On the other hand, brand recognition will be a challenge. American buyers tend to gravitate toward brands they already trust in the EV space, and newer or less familiar names must work harder to prove themselves. Without standout advantages such as class, leading range or ultra-fast charging, the e-Vitara may rely heavily on value and practicality to compete. Its success will depend on how convincingly it balances affordability, usability, and modern expectations in a highly competitive US electric SUV market.